How's it going, everyone? It's TrulyMystic, and welcome back to another hot take video. In today's video, we are going to go over your guys' hot takes submitted from the previous hot take video, react to them, and give you guys my thoughts and opinions on some of these crazy things you guys are saying. So, without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Starting off with our first hot take from Golf Gamer. Hot take: I loved Galactic Battle. Alright, the Star Wars season, the season that actually ended 2 seasons ago. Wow, time moves by very quickly. Yeah, Galactic Battle, the Star Wars season. Honestly, my opinion, it was a pretty good season. I enjoyed a lot of the guns from it. It felt very new from what we were used to. Like, literally the entire loot pool was basically new, with the exception of some things like the lightsabers or I think some of the blasters. And honestly, I won't forget it from this chapter. It was memorable in my opinion. I know a lot of people didn't like it because it was Star Wars. And when you have a collab season, it's gonna turn some people away. But personally, I did enjoy it. I do hope that very soon enough, we will get a lot of the Star Wars guns and all the items and everything in creative. I'm sure that's bound to happen eventually. But yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. Galactic Battle was pretty good. And you can say what you want, but for a 1-month season, I had a blast. Were there probably better seasons out there? Most likely, but I still think Galactic Battle is arguably one of the better collab seasons, at least in my opinion. So yeah, it's a pretty good take. I know a lot of people won't agree with you, but Galactic Battle was pretty decent. Next hot take from Light20. Slow guns equals more damage, fast guns equals less damage. And one-shot guns should exist but require higher skill to use. Alright, so this is a take that I can somewhat agree with. If a gun is obviously super fast, you're gonna wanna probably nerf it to the point where it does less damage. So for example, we could take the guns from this season, the minigun, or whatever the rapid fire gun is called of this season. It does somewhat less damage, you know, when you're first firing it up. You don't want it to obviously do crazy amounts of damage automatically at a rapid rate because that is completely going to shred someone. And the same thing goes for slow guns doing more damage. It makes sense, you know, if you take a long time to reload something or if it has a long cooldown, it's probably going to be something that packs a punch and then you'd have to wait to hit that again. So yeah, I completely agree with this take. I don't know about the one-shot guns should exist but require higher skill to use part. Being able to one-shot someone is crazy. And I guess that kind of exists with the sniper. You can land a headshot on someone and instantly send them back to the lobby. You know, in that case, it does kind of make sense, but I really don't see there being a lot of one-shot guns in the game. I think if something is going to somewhat, quote-unquote, one-shot something, there has to be some crazy amount of tech that you have to do to pull it off. I don't think there should just be a gun in the game that just one-shots you. Even if it takes skill to use, eventually everyone will start copying it and be able to one-shot people. I think there has to be a lot of things involved into something for it to quote-unquote one-shot you. I don't think something should instantly one-shot you unless maybe we're talking a sniper, but that's a whole nother discussion. Next hot take from Minecraft Dog Sore. Bows only get a bad rep because of Chapter 2 Season 6. Oh, interesting. I like this take. So with the bows, we really got them introduced during Chapter 2 Season 6. Yeah, technically we did get the crossbows back in the older days of Fortnite, but the actual bows themselves with the arrow ammo type really started getting introduced and put to the forefront during Primal. And from that season, a lot of people can agree, they just aren't the best weapon to use. In a game where there are different ARs and shotguns and snipers and SMGs, you really want to be picking those up as opposed to a bow. I think there is a reason why Epic decides to not include the bows a lot of times into modern BR seasons, and it's just because it feels very sluggish to use. However, there are really good bows out there, like the grappler bow, which essentially works as a regular bow that you can, you know, do damage on someone with, but also works as a grappler. It's pretty good for getting out of sticky situations or just mobility in general while defending yourself. I think the flame bow personally is pretty underrated, as you could easily set a house on fire, or if someone's hiding in a forest, burn that entire forest to the ground to really get them moving. Stink bow's pretty good too. Like, I could go on and on. I think the bows definitely have their uses, but they just feel extremely outclassed compared to a lot of other guns in the game. I don't think it's only Chapter 2 Season 6 that makes these bows get a bad rep as well. Like I said, back in the day, we did get the original crossbows and the Valentine's Day one, and those were still pretty bad too. So overall, I kind of get what you're saying, but the bows in general are just always going to be outclassed by other things in the game. It is what it is, but I do hope that Epic could make a comeback with them and possibly make some brand new bows that could be very fun to use. I guess we'll see. Next hot take from Piggy Boy. Hot take: not all promotional collabs are bad because it shows Fortnite addicts other franchises. For example, I'm now a Hatsune Miku fan because of Fortnite. That's great, bro. Honestly, yes, I completely get what you're saying. This is a good take. A lot of people do need to understand that not all promotional collabs are bad. There have been a lot of things introduced to Fortnite, of which I really wasn't a fan of before, that made me enjoy it a little more. And I think that it's awesome that Fortnite gets so many collabs to share with the player base of their game. It expands people's tastes and their interests. And sure, everyone might not like what's being added into the game. For example, you may be a fan of Hatsune Miku, but someone else might not. And you know what? That's completely okay. Everyone doesn't have to like everything that Fortnite gives us. And personally, I think that if collabs stay at a good pace, kind of how they are now, then absolutely, yes, I think this is a good thing for the game and for everyone in general. I mean, you know how lucky you must be to get your IP incorporated into Fortnite. I'm sure a bunch of companies are fighting over that to get their thing shared for the video game community as a whole to see. So yeah, pretty good take. And now for our final take for today's video. Crazy enough, from Hatsune Miku, chairs. Perfect timing. Chapter 4 Season 3 was fun for casuals. Oh, hell nah. Listen, I don't know about this one. Chapter 4 Season 3 is one of my least favorite seasons. And in terms of the community, it is very illy speaked upon. Everything from that dense jungle to the wasps and the raptors chasing you. I don't know. For me, this is definitely a crazy take because I don't know how a lot of people could like Chapter 4 Season 3. But you're perfectly okay to like it. It's just personally not one of my favorite seasons. I mean, you know, if you take it at face value, a summer season, a Cybertronian cannon, a cloak ability, a boomerang weapon, like, yeah, there are a couple interesting things that I think casuals will like, but if you look any further than that, I think the cracks do start to show with the season. And I guess whenever I could get to this season and make an entire video about it, I'll explain to you guys why I personally don't like Chapter 4 Season 3. But anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you everyone who submitted their hot takes. I appreciate it a ton. As always, if you have a hot take that you would like me to cover in a future video, please drop them down below. Thank you all so much for watching. Please, if you enjoyed, leave a like and maybe subscribe. And if you would like, use code TrulyMystic in the item shop if you want to support me there. Now, I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, and I will catch you in the next one. It's TrulyMystic, and until then, peace.